again, ladies and gentlemen. You're very welcome to Dalymount Park for tonight's Tristan League match between Bohemians and St. Patrick's Athletic.
First game in Dalymount that I ever went to, my dad brought me to, ironically, was didn't involve bowls. It was Blacksmith final, second leg, and it was between Coleraine and Shamrock Rovers. And my chief memory of that is the almighty row that broke out after the game. That's when my mother ever let me go to a match again.
Well, the first game I can remember as a child coming to Dalymount, it was 1966. I remember we lived in East Wall, we used to always get the bus into town, and we used to get the bus from outside McBurney's or down our O'Connell Street to town at the 19th to Dalymount Park. But this particular day, the bus was going a different way, and as a young kid I was a bit thrown all over the place. I got a bit, said, Dad, where are we going? What's happening? Oh, it's just the pillar is gone. Somebody blew up the pillar. So that would have been 1966. And I wasn't sure if that was an actual day of a match, but I checked it back and it was against Shelbourne in 1966. So that would be the first game I can remember going to for that, just for that particular reason. I can actually remember the very first game I've seen because I've been coming here since I was 4. But that's the first game I can put a date to. That would have been my first game.
I had moved into the area, Dublin 7 area, Broadstone, in October 1982, and fairly soon after that I started coming to games. Because it was my local club, I had no previous relationship with Bohemians. I didn't really know much about the history, to be honest, but I just walked up the road, and then when my first child was born 5 years later, I used to bring her up in a pouch and stand up there at the tramway end on a Sunday afternoon. It always seemed to be sunny in my memory, but I'm sure it wasn't. And then I do remember in 1985 coming to the famous game against Italy, where with my then girlfriend, now wife, where we trying to get in at the Connaught Street entrance, and the crowds were just horrendous, and some Garda wisely took the decision just to open the gates to relieve the pressure, and we sat on the touchline. We actually had the players like tripping over us. We sat on the touchline over there as directed by the stewards and by the Gardaí, and they managed to handle the situation. But that was a very strong, relatively early memory of football in Dalymount Park. But actually I was at music in Dalymount Park before I was at football in Dalymount Park, now that I think about it. I remember Thin Lizzy here, and I remember Bob Marley here, and that's going back to 80, 81, I think, that kind of period anyway. And I was writing about music at the time, so probably music was slightly bigger higher on my priority list than football, so there you go.
Match day routine for me, well obviously I'm the stadium announcer here, so there's a lot of preparation. So the preparation work actually starts on a Wednesday, or depending who we're playing, choosing what music I will play, or if something is happening at half time, anything particular to be done at half time. So that's done during the week. And then on the Fridays I do shift work, so it depends on whether I'm on an early shift. If I'm on an early shift I finish at 1:30, so it's an easy run into Dalymount. I like to cycle up, especially in the summer, and set up nice and early about 6, half 6. Then if I'm on late shift and work, my late shift would normally finish at 8 o'clock, but luckily enough my company allow me work on 2 hours during the week so I can get off at 6. So Friday nights like tonight is a late shift, so I'm straight down here from work, and that's it. Just go with it, and just set up everything, make sure everything is working, make sure there's no problems. If I have a problem, I'm here early enough to solve it. So
I come down early, make sure the mics are working. Larry up there does all the music and that, and he sets it all up, to be fair to him and Stevie Dorn, and I just do my plan for half-time, interview people or do raffles or whatever, and it's quite my busiest time is for those 12 minutes. It could be anything from interviews to raffles.
Well, now as media liaison person, I have to get in about an hour and a half before kick-off, get the team sheets from the referees, which are given to them by the managements or the coaches of the respective teams, and I make up a combined team sheet like that. That's tonight's match, and that's for the media, but it's also for visiting officials, and we give it to dignitaries or sponsors or others who are here, and then there are people who collect these things, who always say they're looking for 2, they're looking for 3, they're looking for 4.
Who was probably the finest player you've ever seen in a Bohemian jersey?
my goodness. I never know the answer to what's your favourite album. I never know the answer to what's your favourite track, your favourite film, your favourite book. Because like in some situations I might say such and such, and in another situation I might say something else, and to be honest, I don't have a quick answer to that.
Pat Fenlon. Yeah, Pat Fenlon or Jerry Ryan back in the 70s.
It's a tough one. It really is a tough one because I think when I was younger, the players would have been more heroes to me because I was a young kid. And then as I got older, when you seen players your own age, you admired them rather than they, like, you know, being up in the air. But the first player I remember, it was Turlough O'Connor for me. Turlough O'Connor was a hero of mine back in the 70s and that. In fact, that whole team were heroes. And then along comes the guys in the 80s, Ricky O'Brien, Jackie Jameson. You know, Jackie was something else. But then, you know, there was Gino Lawless, Robbie Best, fantastic player.
Obviously I have a fairly clear visual memory of Jackie Jameson, just the way he used to glide around the pitch, and he was very, very impressive. But no, I'd have to pass on that. I mean, I probably have a new one every year, you know. I mean, I just think what some of the guys have done this season is just really outstanding. I think Roberto Lopez has been just extraordinary this season.
So for instance, the best goalkeeper we ever had was Brian Murphy from a couple of years back. Best midfielders were maybe Pat Fenlon and Kevin Hunt. Centre forwards, Glenn Crowe or Jason Bourne. But if you had to pin me down to pick one player, it would have to be Jackie Jameson. And he was just utterly mercurial on the ball. Could do anything with it. And the way he's playing at the wrong time, because he was playing in an era where he was still kick lumps out of skillful players. If he was around today, there'd be no one to touch him. He's an absolute genius.
Try to sum up what this club means to you.
It's my whole life nearly. It's my family, everybody around me, my friends. It's my whole life. I'm here every weekend. This is where I come.
And the reason I come is because I love football up close. I prefer one game up close and personal live to 10 games at a much higher standard on television. You know, it just isn't the same for me. You know,
we're the oldest club in Dublin. We're the only continuously founder members of the league. We've never been relegated. Numerous great European nights here, cup victories. But my favourite all-time moment in sport and bowls, I would say, possibly was the year we won the league in 2001 down in Buckley Park. Sorry to bring this up, but you've been a Shelbourne fan, but Shelbourne imploded that year. They were miles out in front and they just fell apart completely. And on the last day, we needed Shelbourne to lose, both to win obviously, and Glen Crowe needed 2 goals to become the league's all-time our club. So it was an all-time top goal scorer of some kind. And Shell's duly lost against Cork down in Tolka. I was standing at the Callan end when news of the goal came through. It was just fantastic. And then with the last kick of the game, Glenn got the second goal that got him that record. It was actually, again, even everything from the weather that day was just beautiful. That Buckley Park pitch had a reputation. If they had drizzled, the game would be called off. But that day was like a billiard table. It was just gorgeous. I've been following them for so long that it kind of, you base your whole weekend around where they're playing, home or away.
I think my favourite night was the first night I ever played the Champions League music here. That was the buzz. That was a real buzz. And the team coming out, we played Batley Borisov. We were 1-0 down in the first leg and we won 3-0. And the buzz that night was just, that was unreal now. Playing the Champions League match really brought the hairs on the back of my neck. Well, as I said in the earlier question, I can't remember not coming here. So I've always been here, and I held my father's hand up and down the North Circle Road, going up here for years and years, and into the 90s. I remember maybe Dad died, like I came here, you know. It still gets me. But I came here when he died. And, well, we put him in his, we had his tie on him and a scarf. I took the scarf. I still have the scarf, and we have a little crest on his gravestone. So I think that there's not much more to say than that. It means an awful lot. It's not just football, you know. There's a history there in the family, you know. And all my brother-in-laws and even his nephew are following Bohs now. So there's a lot of people in the family are involved with Bohs. And I've got great friends down here. Like, they're like brothers, sisters, you know. They're so close, you know. So it's not just the football. There's a social aspect to it, and then there's the family connection, of course. You know.